Please pay homage to the Buddha. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today, we would like to explain and to clarify 10 types of upekkha. In your question, there are only partially about 5 or 4 upekkhas. So there are 10 types of upekkha. This upekkha equanimity is mentioned in Salani commentary as well as in Visuddhimagga commentary, etc. There are 10 types of upekkha. Number 1, Cha-ling-gu-pekkha, 6-factored equanimity. Number 2, Brahma-viharupekkha, equanimity as a divine abiding. Number 3, Bhujjanga-pekkha, equanimity as an enlightenment factor. Number 4, Viriya-pekkha, equanimity of energy. Number 5, Sankharupekkha, equanimity about formations. Number 6, Vedanupekkha, equanimity as a feeling. Number 7, Vipassanupekkha, equanimity about insight. Number 8, Tattara-mejjatupekkha, equanimity as specific neutrality or equanimity as ever evenness. Then number 9, Jhana-upekkha, equanimity of jhana. And number 10, Parisuddha-upekkha, equanimity of purification. Altogether there are 10 types of upekkha. Number 1, 6-factored equanimity, Cha-ling-gu-pekkha. This is the upekkha of arhats. This is one type of Tattara-mejjatu mental factor, ever evenness. When arhats sees an object or hear an object, etc., at that time, because of seeing or because of hearing, etc., they have no enjoyment or they have no unhappiness feeling. They have always neutral mind. What is the reason? They already understood the meaning of the object. What is the meaning of the object? It is anicca, dukkha, anatta. They always understand. When they see color, they understand this color is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. When they hear any song, this song is anicca, dukkha, and anatta, etc. So whenever they experience any object among 6 objects, they always understand, oh, this is anicca, this is dukkha, this is anatta. Especially, they are rising and perishing, or they are perishing. Perishing of those objects or those formations. Because of this reason, they have no happy feeling or unhappy feeling while seeing or while hearing, etc. Is it good? Good? Very good. If you understand the true nature of the objects, you may have such type of upekkha, but this upekkha is fixed to arhats only. Utuja and other noble ones, occasionally they may have a happy feeling while seeing or while hearing any object. Occasionally they may have a happy feeling, etc. But arhats no such type of problem. They always have neutrality of mind. What is neutrality? Ever evenness. Then another one is Brahma Viharupaka. The neutrality or equanimity as sublime abiding. The meditator, if he practices Brahma Vihara meditation, sublime abiding meditation, number one, loving kindness meditation up to Tajana. Number two, Karuna meditation, sympathetic joy up to Tajana. Compassion up to Tajana. Mudita, sympathetic joy meditation up to Tajana. Then he continued the equanimity of sublime abiding. While practicing this equanimity of sublime abiding, he had already attained up to fourth jhana. Before attaining fourth jhana, he had already reflected. All beings have their own kamma as their own object, kamma sakata. This kamma sakata knowledge, samadhi, is strong powerful supporting cause for producing this equanimity. That equanimity also tadra mija tadra, one mental pattern of ever evenness. Then another one is Bhujjangupaka. But I want in this case to remind, if you see any being, whether male or female, if you pay attention as a loving kindness, with loving kindness eye, or with compassion eye, or with sympathetic joy eye, or with upekkha eye. Is it good? Very good. So, if you see any being, you should send metta to him or to her. If you see any being, you should send karuna, compassion to her or to him. If you see any being, you should send mudita, sympathetic joy. If you see any being, you should always contemplate. That person has his own object, his own property as his kamma. His kamma is his own property. Kamma sakata samadhi. If you pay attention with such four types of sublime abiding eye, then you are accumulating sublime wholesome dhammas, while seeing any being. Is it good? Very good. But if you pay attention that person with attachment or with anger mind, is it good? You are accumulating a wholesome dhamma. So these upekkha's are very important. Another one is bhujjanga upekkha. When we are explaining about bhujjanga chapter, we had already explained upekkha sambhujjanga. While practicing samatha or while practicing vipassana, you should have also this bhujjanga upekkha. This bhujjanga upekkha also ever evenness mental pattern, tatra metta tatra pattern. While seeing a samatha meditation object, such as anapana patibhaga nimitta, anapana kalāpa sign, you do not yet satisfy because your nimitta is no translucent and bright like diamond, for example. So you do not yet satisfy. This is one type of unhappy feeling because of anapana patibhaga nimitta. So while seeing anapana patibhaga nimitta, if you have such one type of unhappy feeling, then you are accumulating unwholesome dosa group while practicing anapana. So while focusing on your anapana patibhaga nimitta, you should not accumulate any unwholesome dhamma. You should accumulate only wholesome dhamma. Oh, you should pay attention to this anapana patibhaga nimitta as anapana nimitta only. Whether it is white color or translucent color, no problem. Any red color or blue color, no problem. You should not pay attention as a blue or white or translucent, or this must be diamond, or this must be ruby, etc. You should not have such type of intention. You should pay attention as a nimitta only. This is your responsibility. While focusing this samatha meditation object, you should accumulate the development of higher and higher concentration. At that time only you will attain up to full absorption stage, jhana stage. Again, while practicing vipassana, occasionally you may have enough satisfaction while practicing vipassana. Occasionally you may have not yet satisfaction because of the object is not so clear, etc. At that time, you should not accumulate a happy feeling. If you do not yet see the object clearly, such as mentality and materiality and their causes, at that time, all you should do, you should go back to jhana. You should re-establish your jhana concentration, which is your vipassana basis jhana, such as anapana fourth jhana or vaikasina fourth jhana, etc. When your concentration becomes deeper and deeper, there will be the light of wisdom will become brighter and brighter. At that time you can go back to this materiality first. If you see materiality very, very vividly, very, very clearly, at that time you should go on to this mentality. After discerning materiality and mentality, if you see very, very clearly, at that time please go back to vipassana. You should contemplate occasionally materiality as nature, dukkha, anatta, occasionally mentality as nature, dukkha, and anatta, etc. This is your duty. unhappy feeling is not so good when practicing vipassana. Then another ubekha equanimity is viriyubekha. Viriyubekha is here kalena gala ubekha nimeda manasi kroti. Kalena gala. Occasionally you must pay attention ubekha nimeda. This is also very important. Occasionally, you may pay attention your meditation object with strong and very powerful effort. When effort is very, very strong and excessive, other than restless mind will appear. But occasionally, you may pay attention the samatha meditation object or vipassana meditation object with relaxing mind. But your relaxing mind is very weak. Other than your energy also will become very weak. When virya effort is becoming very weak, then laziness will appear, cause it. So not to fall into restless state or not to fall into laziness state, then you must adjust your effort. So kalena kala, occasionally you must pay attention upekha, neutrality. Such type of upekha is called viriyubekha. You must adjust your effort or energy while practicing samatha or while practicing vipassana. The another upekha is sankharupekha. The another upekha is vipassanupekha. Sankharupekha and vipassanupekha are only vipassana insight. But these vipassana insight are supported by mental Bhaddanta mijatata ever evenness. While practicing vipassana, there are usually in your vipassana insight 34 mental formations. Among 34, there one mental Bhaddanta is Tatra mijatata ever evenness. When this ever evenness support to your vipassana insight, that vipassana insight also began equanimity. Formations, equanimity, or while contemplating vipassana, if you understand the nature or dukkha or anatta nature very, very clearly, as soon as these formations, as soon as they arise, they perish away. They are always oppressed by rising and perishing. There is a permanent self or no permanent entity in them, so they are another non-self. If you see this true nature at the day, your mind will incline equanimity to see these objects. When this is called vipassanupekha. When this vipassanupekha becomes very strong and powerful, when after seeing rising and perishing of those formations, then when your vipassana insight becomes very, very strong and powerful, at that time, you do not try to see rising of those formations. You try only to see perishing of those formations. When your vipassana insight becomes mature, at that time also you will see only just perishing of those formations. At that time, you had already seen the true nature of those formations. In this case, the commentary explains with one example. If you have one bowl, in ancient time, they use clay bowl. But they use respectfully this clay bowl. However, occasionally this bowl may have holes. If you see inside the bowl 3 holes, then how you will feel concerning about this bowl? You understand this bowl has 3 holes. They are the parts of this bowl. Then you may relinquish your attachment to this bowl. Whether this bowl break into pieces or not, no problem. You have equanimous mind because you already see the true nature of parts. What are parts? 3 holes. In the same way, if you contemplate those formations as nature or dukkha or anatta, again, then you just see only just perishing. At that time you understand they are parts. At that time you have no worry about these formations. You have no attachment to these formations. You are made at that time free from worry and attachment to those formations, and equanimity rise. That equanimity is vipassana insight knowledge, but this vipassana insight knowledge also supported by tatra micca tata, ever evenness mental pattern. This is also called vipassana. Then another one is vedanubhaka. There are 3 types of vedana: sukha vedana, happy feeling; dukkha vedana, unhappy feeling; and ubhaka vedana, equanimity feeling. Among 3 types of vedana, this is one type of vedana. This is called vedanubhaka. Especially while practicing samatha before jhana stage, this vedanubhaka also important. While practicing vipassana, also such type of vedanubhaka is important. Then another one is tattara micca-tubhaka. This tattara micca-tubhaka also while practicing samatha or while practicing vipassana, very important. Concerning about your meditation object, you should have no worry or no attachment to this meditation object. If you have worry or attachment, or if you have restless mind or laziness, etc., if there are many hindrances are visiting to your mind, then depending on this meditation object, then your meditation cannot improve. Depending on your meditation object, that object may be samatha meditation object or vipassana meditation object. Your mind should have ever evenness depending on this object. This is also very important. Such type of ubhaka is called tattara micca-tubhaka. This is ever evenness mental pattern. Then another one is jhanubhaka. While practicing jhana, especially if you attain or had already attained up to that jhana, at that time, that jhana sukha vedana happy feeling is the highest sukha in mundane world. Although this is very high powerful sukha, but at that time, because of the power of this ever evenness mental pattern, then the meditator do not have a lot of enjoyment or excessive enjoyment, excessive happy feeling, depending on this samatha nimitta, like anapana, patibhaga nimitta, anapana counterpart sign. At that time, meditators might have ever evenness. This is very important. At that time, you should not investigate a lot about the meditation object. Just as a meditation object only, you should focus on this counterpart sign, anapana counterpart sign, or white Acinna counterpart sign, etc. If you investigate a lot, then Dhamma Vichaya Sambhujjanga, investigating enlightenment pattern will become excessive. When investigating enlightenment pattern becomes excessive, the enlightenment pattern of energy, the enlightenment pattern of piti also will become excessive. When these three Bhujjanga patterns, Dhamma Vichaya, Viriya, and piti, investigation, energy, and piti joy, they become excessive. Then your concentration will begin decrease. Why? Restless mind will appear. This is natural. So because of this reason, one practicing jhana, this tattara meja tatta, ever evenness mental pattern also very important. Another one is parisodupaka. This parisodupaka also one type of tattara meja tatta, mental pattern. Ubhaka sati parisodin tatautan jhana, Upa Bijadi, etc. In this way, in many suttas, Buddha teaches. That Ubhaka is called Parisodipaka. What is the meaning? One practicing fourth jhana. That fourth jhana, two types, mundane and supra-mundane. Both are okay. While practicing samatha meditation, if you had already attained fourth jhana, at that time, 5 hindrances, especially all defilements, are far away. Sabba pichanika parisuddha. All opposite and wholesome dhammas became pure when you had already attained fourth jhana. At that time, because of the opposite dhammas are not present in your mind, opposite and wholesome dhammas are not visiting to your mind, at that time your mind is pure, free from defilements. At that time your mind will be equanimity. Such type of equanimity is also called parisodupaka. But this parisodupaka is also one type of tattara meja tatta mental pattern. At that time, when entering into fourth jhana, there is no vidaka vichara. There is no piti, there is no sukha. These vidaka vichara, piti, sukha are very close to the hindrances or any defilements. But actually, before attaining first jhana stage, at the excess concentration stage, all hindrances are disappear. That excess concentration remove all hindrances. But if you had already attained first jhana, then if you can maintain this first jhana the other hindrances are not present. But there is still uddaka vichara. They can call back these hindrances to visit to your mind again. Is it true? So very close to the five hindrances, enemy. In the same way, piti, sukha also very close to five hindrances. But in fourth jhana, there is no uddaka, no vichara, no piti, no sukha. Because of this reason, it is very far away from hindrances. So it is very pure. Because of this reason, this tatra mijadata in fourth jhana is called parisodupaka. Okay? Then all together there are the upaka. Any question?
Sayadaw, when Arahant take the Patipaga nimitta such as Anapana nimitta and get into the first jhana, even the Arahant get into the first jhana, there is no piti and sukha vedana?
Jhana there is piti sukha, but no, there is still piti sukha, it is true. But usually Arahats, uddaka vichara, piti sukha, five jhana padas are associated with jhanas are called functional only, not wholesome dhamma. Just functional only. There still uddaka vichara is okay. Still. Second jhana also there is still piti, and third jhana also there is still sukha. But there uddaka vichara and piti sukha are functional only, not wholesome dhamma. This is the difference only. Because of this reason, now early morning you recite one stanza. Anika jadi sansara sanda visa anibisa. This is heavy adherence of our Lord Buddha. After being self-enlightened Buddha. While reviewing his success, at that time he feel joyful feeling, happy feeling. Is it true? Because of this reason, he proclaimed this happy adherence. This is they call udana. This is mentally recited only. In some occasions, Buddha verbally also recite this such type of adherence, udana. This is the power of piti sukha. Anything?
So regarding the after Banga, she said in order for insight knowledge to increase, we emphasize on the perishing, not pay attention to arising. But some yogis, naturally the mind, without specially ignoring the arising, but naturally the mind goes into seeing perishing. Isn't it better that way?
This is because of previous practice, okay. Previous is how long previous? It is not easy to say. Because some meditators, when their insight becomes mature because of past life paramis. So while contemplating, within few seconds they can begin Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami and Arhat. So at that time, because of previous parami, they may also quickly see the perishing. While contemplating rising in perishing, their mind may also change perishing. But at that time, to focus perishing is automatic. I don't want to use. Because in Buddha's teaching, there is no automatic dhamma. Only cause and effect. If there is this cause, there will be such and such effect only. Without any cause and condition, any dhamma cannot arise. So they may have maybe very quick intention also. It is possible because of previous parami. Okay? You want to become automatic? Automatic arhat. Not easy, not easy.
Okay. Now there's the question. Referring to Udayabhaya Jnana, detailed method of meditation, in the book under the explanation section for Paticca Samuppada fifth method, it says, quote, if the meditator wants, he can meditate by dividing into two groups, i.e., one group of avijja tanha upadana, which is the same as kilesa vata, and one group of sankhara kamma, which is the same as kamma vata, unquote. A teacher commented that this is shortcut method, so a meditator should not divide and group in this way for discernment. Can Sayadaw please explain about this paragraph?
Maybe in this case, avijja, ignorance, craving, tanha, craving, upadana, clinging. If there are four types of upadana, it is true. Among four types, for many meditators, mostly clinging is upadana, clinging is kammupadana. If it is kammupadana, what is the meaning of kammupadana? Repeated attachment or firm attachment, this is called upadana. So, craving also tanha, upadana also tanha. They have same meaning, same mental pattern. So, without ignorance, these two mental patterns never arise. But while practicing dependent origination, nana citta khana, mind movement is usually different, although they always arise together. Mind movement and mental process is a little bit different. While contemplating avijja never arises without craving and clinging. While contemplating craving never arises without ignorance, avijja. But that craving may be firm craving also possible. Just beginning craving also possible. So for a meditator, it is not easy to distinguish this is firm craving or just beginning craving. Because of this reason, while contemplating avijja, ignorance as anicca, dukkha, anatta, they arise within same mental process and within same mental mind movement also possible. If it is possible, when contemplating as anicca, dukkha, anatta, they can contemplate with ignorance, craving, and clinging together with associated mental formations according to mental process, especially mental process. They should contemplate as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Because while discerning mentality or while practicing vipassana, they must do sabba, all mental formations. They should not contemplate only one mental pattern, but they can do anupada dhamma vipassana, it is true, one by one. But anupada dhamma vipassana, while contemplating, while practicing anupada dhamma vipassana, they should do one by one. If there are 20 mental formations in each mind movement, they must do 20, not only one avijja, ignorance alone. So, if they arise together within one mind movement, within same mental process, they meditator can contemplate, it is also possible. This is one reason. While discerning cause and effect, if they rise together within one mind moment, because they had already rise again, many times, many days, etc. Because of this reason, if a meditator discerns one ignorance, if a meditator sees ignorance, craving, and clinging together, in possessing these three mental patterns, together with associated mental formations in each mind moment, if he discerns dependent origination, because of the rising of ignorance, craving, and clinging, such and such mind-born, kamma-born materiality rise. In this way, if they contemplate, no much problem, because they already rise together. But while discerning because of ignorance, craving rise, then this is a different mental process. Although they arise together in each mind moment, that ignorance is the decisive supporting cause to the succeeding craving. This is according to Bhaddanta method. According to Abhidhamma method, they always arise within same mind moment, within same mental pattern. Because of this reason, when Buddha is expounding dependent origination, Buddha always teach both ways, Bhaddanta method as well as Abhidhamma method. But for disciples, Bhaddanta method is popular teaching. Because if they practice according to Bhaddanta method also, they will understand Abhidhamma method. When they can break down four types of competence. Because they already arise together. So they should not pretend not to see. Only they must try to see only ojatthamaka. They should try to not to see other mental patterns which arise together within same mental process and within same mind moment. They must pretend not to see. Is it possible? Not possible. So because of this reason, some teachers, they do not understand the Buddha's teaching, what is Bhaddanta method, what is Abhidhamma method. In this way, they do not understand clearly. By imagination only they are criticizing a lot. So because of this reason, if they can discern one by one, it is also okay. Okay means the meditator should not perceive that they can arise only one after another. But if meditator understand, they may arise together within the same mind moment, within the same mental process. But the preceding one is the decisive supporting cause, the succeeding one. If they understand in this way, if they discern differently, it is also okay. According to Abhidhamma method, they arise together. Because of this reason, they also discern three together, it is also okay. But usually, while contemplating those formations, maybe ignorance mental process, or craving mental process, or clinging mental process, as nature dukkha anatta, at that time, if they contemplate three together, no much problem, because they always arise three together. Okay?
Can Sayadaw please explain about the following upakilesa and how to overcome them? A. Obhasa, the light. B. Vipassana nikanti.
There are 10 types of upakilesa, impediments. Obhasa piti pasati. Dhimmagoja bhagho sukhanyana mubadhana mubhakhaja niganti cheti, etc. In this way, altogether, there are 10 types of impediments. Obhasa is like light of wisdom. If you want to, among these 10, niganti, very gentle, very subtle attachment to their vipassana insight. On the day when contemplating formations as nature, dukkha, anatta, a meditator can see very, very clearly the objects are very vivid to his vipassana insight. At that time, he may have very subtle or gentle attachment to his vipassana insight. Such very subtle attachment is niggandi. That niggandi is actually embodiment. The remaining they are not embodiment. But if a meditator again have attachment to the obhasa, bidi, basri, sukha, jnana, mupadhana, mubhakha, etc. At that time only because of this attachment, the remaining 9 also become embodiment only. They are not embodiments actually. So vipassana, the light of vipassana inside obhasa. That obhasa also actually not embodiment. But some meditators, there are many misunderstandings for some meditators. Many misunderstandings means if obhasa, the light of wisdom appear, they think they had already attained udhyavya jnana. Their reason is they are noting every object. They do not try to understand ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality. Because their perception is it is impossible for disciples to see this ultimate materiality and mentality. This is their idea. Because of this reason, they do not try to see ultimate materiality and mentality. Without seeing ultimate materiality and mentality, they note every object. That while noting every object which appear in their mind, then slowly, because of one type of concentration, maybe the light of wisdom appear for few seconds or for few minutes. At that time they think, they had already attained udhyavya jnana stage. So this is many wrong perceptions there are in our Burma. They do not understand. While practicing samatha also there are the light of wisdom. They do not understand. Because of this reason they have such type of wrong perception. Because of this reason they think they had already attained udhyavya jnana. This is their misunderstanding about our Buddha's teaching. In this case, the light of wisdom is when contemplating ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality in their causes as nature, dukkha, and anatta. At that time, the light of wisdom became very, very bright. Especially when practicing udhyavya jnana in a wider way. At that time, this udhyavya jnana can produce strong, powerful light. That light is called obhasa. How it began? How does it rise? While contemplating formations, because of this ignorance, this kamma from materiality rise. Because of the rising of this ignorance, this kamma from materiality rise. Because of the complete cessation of this ignorance, this kamma from materiality cease completely without reminder. That ignorance also nature or dukkha or anatta. This kamma from materiality also nature, dukkha or anatta. In this way, they must contemplate again and again, past, present, and future. Throughout present life also there are 6 types of mental process. In each mind moment, there are 5 aggregates. They must discern each aggregate cause and effect, and they must contemplate in this way dependent origination, forward order and negative order both. So when contemplating in this way, slowly vipassana insight become mature, became very powerful. At that time, such 10 types of impediments appear. What is āhāraja? Āhāraja is the right of vipassana insight. How it arises? While contemplating those formations systematically, anicca, dukkha, anatta, according to wider way of utuja jnana stage. At that time, that vipassana insight is associated with very powerful concentration. Depending on this concentration as well as depending on their parami, their vipassana insight at that time become very, very powerful. Because of the powerful vipassana insight, mind-born kalāpas also became very powerful, and they are superior mind-born kalāpas. Each vipassana mind moment can produce uncountable mind-born kalāpas throughout a meditator's body. Those mind-born kalāpas, if a meditator analyzes in each mind-born kalāpa, there are 8 types of materiality: vata, phaya, wind, kala, odor, flavor, nutritive, essence, etc. Among those 8 types, there is kala. One kalāpas kala and another kalāpas kala, they rise very closely to each other. Because of this reason, the light of wisdom appears throughout a meditator's body inside. Again, in those every mind-born kalāpa, there is fire element. That fire element also again produces temperature-born kalāpas. In each fire element can produce uncountable temperature-born kalāpas, not only internally but also externally. Depending on the power of wisdom faculty, this light of wisdom also became very bright. So, mind-born kalāpas spread, supreme mind-born kalāpas spread throughout meditator's body. But among those supreme mind-born kalāpas, temperature, fire element produce temperature-born kalāpas. Those temperature-born kalāpas spread not only throughout the body of meditators, not only spread throughout the meditator's body, but also spread up to external world. How long? Far away, how big? Maybe our Buddhas, the light of wisdom of vipassana spread up to 100,000 world cycles. So very powerful, very far away. But for some meditators, maybe within one room, they spread this light of wisdom. For some meditators, they spread maybe throughout one compound, maybe 2-seater. 2-seater monastery compound, or maybe 2-seater monastery compound, etc. 1 village, 2 village, etc. So there was one story. In Octad-kalāpas monastery, in Sri Lanka, there was a famous ancient monastery, Octad-kalāpas. Umingala had already visited to that place. So, in those days, there is one kuti. That kuti has 2 double walls. Inside wall, this wall is covered their sleeping room. There is also another wall outside, which is kamma, walking path. They are covered. So one Mahathera and another 2 Mahathera, maybe each room, they are practicing meditation. But later they discussed about this light of wisdom. One day, last night, the light of wisdom, my light of wisdom, vipassana light, and the insight light is very strong. It go up to the Chedi Yangana. Chedi Yangana is within monastery. There's one Chediya. Around that Chediya there is platform. That platform is called Chedi Yangana. On that Chedi Yangana, they already prepared flowers to offer Chediya. They had already offered evening. But night time while meditating, one meditator, one Friday saying vipassana inside spread up to that area and saw the flowers clearly. He explained about his light of wisdom to the Mahatera, one Mahatera. Then that Mahatera says again, one day, my vipassana light of wisdom spread up to the ocean. Inside the ocean there are very, very big fishes. With the assistance of the power of my light of wisdom, I can see these different types of fishes. In this way, he explained. Because of this reason, one practices vipassana, with the vipassana insight, if they pay attention parts, it is also possible they can see different types of objects in the parts. One contemplated external world, if they want to see concepts, they can also can see some type of trees, mountains, etc. This is also possible.
Sayadaw, isn't this very close to divine eye, a little bit like psychic power? But very...
Maybe the difference is divine eye psychic power can understand which type of being comes from which type of plane. Or after that, this such and such type of being go to such and such plane because of such and such kamma, etc. But vipassana insight understand, sees the object only. They do not understand the name and different types of concepts. They do not understand the causal relationship between cause and effect. For example, there may be one deva he may see. That deva comes from where? He cannot understand. Can see deva and mention only. But divine insight power can understand this deva in past life, for example, accumulate such and such wholesome kamma. Because of this wholesome kamma, he appear here. Then again, he may see one type of animal. This animal accumulates such and such a wholesome kamma in such and such life. Because of this reason, he appear here as an animal. In the same way, he may also see that person. Or that person, because of such and such wholesome kamma, he will reborn in such and such place. Or this kamma, because of such and such a wholesome kamma, he reborn in such and such place. In this way, divine insight power can understand. But vipassana insight not understand like that. But nearly similar to like divine eye. So, in this way, the power of vipassana insight may be different to each other depending on their parami and their power of wisdom faculty. The proximate cause of the power of wisdom faculty is concentration. When concentration becomes deeper and deeper, the light of wisdom becomes brighter and brighter. But another reason is dependent on the power of their previous parami. While accumulating their parami, their wisdom faculty is very deep and profound. Because of this parami, while practicing vipassana in this very light, their wisdom faculty also can become very deep and profound. When vipassana insight very powerful, then the light of wisdom will become brighter and brighter. So if a meditator wants to overcome such problem, not to attach to that, if he don't want attachment to that light, how he should do? He should discern 4 elements in that light of wisdom. 4 elements of the light of wisdom. One discerning 4 elements of that light wisdom, then he will see the light of wisdom is just a group of kalāpas only. But these kalāpas are very subtle kalāpas. When vipassana insight become very sharp, at that time only they can see they are kalāpas. After while analyzing those kalāpas, in each kalāpa there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types there is kala. That kala is very bright. One kalāpa's kala and another kalāpa's kala rise very, very closely to each other. Because of this reason, for some meditators, they may think their light of wisdom continuously spread. They do not see kalāpas. At that time, if they understand true nature of the light of wisdom, materiality's nature, dukkha, and anatta, then very subtle attachment to that light of wisdom will disappear. At that time, they can overcome such type of embodiment.
Sayadaw, just very curious. When yogi spread the light of wisdom when he's doing vipassana, can he able to see future with the light of wisdom? Just now, Sayadaw mentioned that with light of wisdom, when he can cover, spread out a big area, then he can see the object. But can he project the future if he want to see future with the light of wisdom?
Which future? Whose future? His own future is okay, and then he can see only nama-rūpa.
He cannot see picture, all this, whatever things you want to see.
Occasionally may see, but this picture is sometimes may change. May change means depending on their parami. Before becoming arhat stage, they may have future. Some meditators. But if their vipassana insight really becomes very mature, and then when they will become arhat in this very life, then their future also disappear. So such type of possibility also there. But this may be for some meditators only. The picture is sometimes a little bit difficult. A little bit difficult means because of what called previous perception, pupa sinya. Because of this pupa sinya also may object appear. So because of this reason, and then usually we suggest many meditators not to pay attention, different pictures, different concepts, just emphasize only pramata. Ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality.
So if you want to see what event will happen in future, like next year, what thing will happen, that is divine eye, only the divine power can see.
Divine insight power is more accurate, but vipassana insight also accurate, but the duration is may change. May change means they emphasize only nama-rūpa. So that nama-rūpa may arise or may not arise because depending on vipassana, there may be changing. For example, some may be like Ajanta Satu. Although he had parami, he can become Sotapanna after listening Saminya Phala Sutta, but he had his unwholesome kamma prohibit to him not to attain Sotapanna. So there may be possibilities occasionally.
Now the next question is, can Sayadaw please explain the following jnana: Bhaya jnana, Adinava jnana, Nibinda jnana, Nibida jnana, Munchitu Kamyata jnana, Patisankha jnana. How to check whether a yogi experiences all these jnana?
Maybe these jnanas for some meditators only just within few minutes they can rise quickly. So Bhaya is maybe meditator at the day think all formations are fearful, because perishing is very quick. So at the day he may feel fearful feeling. Adinava jnana is seeing their faults, anicca, dukkha, anatta faults. Nibida jnana is disenchantment only. So these three knowledges may arise successfully very, very quickly. And then moksha dukkha jnana is longing for releasing from these formations, or longing for liberation from these formations. Patisankha jnana is again with the desire to free from or to liberate from these formations. He contemplates formations as anicca, dukkha, anatta repeatedly again. So because of this reason, these jnanas are within few seconds also possible, but such type of appearance only. So they recognize these formations as fearful ones. This recognizing knowledge is called Bhanga jnana only. This jnana also may see, but they already see anicca or dukkha or anatta faults. Seeing this anicca, dukkha, anatta faults is Adinava jnana only. At that time, maybe the disenchantment may appear. So this is also one type of vipassana jnana. Then, if they have disenchantment, they may have longing for releasing or for liberation of these formations. Such type of attitude only. This is moksha kamyata jnana. Because of this attitude, they repeatedly contemplate those formations again and again. This is patisankha only. So they may arise very, very quickly. If the meditator discern nama rūpa bhagava, at that time they may see this is what, at that time they may see this, such and such knowledge, appear or no, etc. But they are all understand the perishing of formations only.
Do we have to check every yogi has this jnana?
Maybe it depends on their own nature. Every yogi check or no check, I don't know. But the reason is that occasionally they must contemplate insight knowledge also nature, dukkha, anatta. At that time both subject and object. Object, mentality, materiality, subject is insight knowledge. So both they must contemplate again at that time. When they contemplate their insight knowledge, this insight knowledge is, if they discern carefully, they may see which type of insight knowledge, they may also see. But as a general, they may see, this insight knowledge is just knowing the perishing only. This is also possible.
This knowledge will appear every time the yogi re-establish the vipassana, right?
Usually appear, but for some meditators, sankharupaka and bhaya jnana may take a longer time, especially sankharupaka. These jnanas within few minutes or few seconds also possible. They reach up to sankharupaka very, very quickly. But so for some meditators, they must practice diligently in each stage for a long time. Because their barami is not yet enough.
Those very quick one, they may not see this very clear. You can just go to Sankhara.
Some meditators, while reviewing or while contemplating their insight knowledge, they may understand or such and such knowledge. But if they do not contemplate, they may maybe just see the subject or object only. They do not contemplate only subject. At that time, they may, crossing these different types of states, they may not notice. But some meditators, if they practice in detail again, they may see. But this knowledge only not once. They may arise again, also possible. Because when Nibbana is sometimes Nibbana, but when they see again, they don't want to say goodbye again. Maybe one time, maybe Nibbana, that Nibbana is not so strong enough. So because of this, they may go back again. This is also possible.
So I just mention about if the meditator see the nama rupa backward, he can see. So can Sayadaw explain how to see backward?
Or descending past nama rupa like dependent origination. One descending dependent origination, they descend backward nama rupa. In the same way also, when they descend backward nama rupa also possible. This is a possibility. Maybe how to descend, please practice practically. From the present to backward, they descend nama rupa, not forward order, backward order. At that time also partially they may understand.
Sayadaw, is it some yogis, when they practice, they experience Nibbana, they say they are very fearful, very afraid of sankhara, and to the point they have a desire to disrobe. How can it, is that, how to understand this? Tired of sankhara.
Desire to disrobe is to marry only. Not for liberation. Here the desire is for liberation only, not to disrobe. Is it true? Is it true?
So now next question. When we do vipassana internally and externally, should we do one time internal and then one time external, or many times internal and then many times external?
If one stroke is enough for you, then you can do one time, no problem. But mine is very difficult. They must beat repeatedly again. At that time, only a little bit, they can open their eye. They can open their wisdom eye. Repeated admonishment is necessary for some meditators. In this case, there is one example mentioned in commentaries. When thunder bullet attacked once to a Torii tree already passed away. At that time, it is not necessary to again appear another thunder bullet to attack this Torii tree, because once is enough. But if you cut Torii tree with a sword, one stroke may be not enough to kill Torii tree, because the power of thunder bullet and the power of knife is not same. Is it true? So because of this, sometimes repeatedly you must cut again. At that time only this Torii tree may fall down. One stroke is not enough. But for some meditators, one stroke also enough, because they had been practiced in previous life. Repeatedly many times up to Sankarupaka jnana states like Benariva, Sariputta, etc. So when listening one stanza from the Benariva Asaji, before finishing this stanza they had already begun Sotapanna. Because they had been practiced up to Sankarupaka many times in previous Buddha's dispensation. So because of this reason, depend on their parami, within one stroke is enough, they can contemplate only one time, no problem. But if one time is not enough, they must repeatedly practice again and again.
The question actually is, should the yogi do, let's say, one time internal, one time external, then one time internal, one time external, one time internal, one time external, or internal, then external, and then internal, external.
It depends on their own desire.
Oh.
Desire means, for example, some meditators, depending on their vipassana insight, I teach different way. First, they must discern internally, sayadaws and mentality, etc. If they had already discerned ultimate materiality and mentality internally, clearly, at that time, we teach to discern externally. This is for beginners. After that, they must discern internally and externally again. Usually, for some meditators, they can discern externally nearby. Maybe within meditation hall, for example. Then, after discerning sayadaws, mentality and materiality, both internally and externally, again they must discern a little bit far away, both internally and externally. Okay. Then again they must discern both internally and externally a little bit more far away. In this way, slowly they must increase their discernment area up to infinite world system. It is better. After that, only while contemplating vipassana, both internally and externally also same. Sometimes, if their vipassana insight not see very clearly, then they must classify sayadaws one by one. But if they can see clearly, then they can do all sayadaws together also possible. Sayadaws means rūpa only, no nama. Then after that, they must discern nama sayadaws according to mental process. Then they must do both internally and externally. This contemplation is also from nearby to very far away. Slowly they must go. They had already discerned this both nama, rūpa, internally and externally, thoroughly. If they satisfy, then they go back to past, present, and future, both internal and external, etc. Nowadays, for many meditators, repeated practice is necessary. Because meditators who have enough parami for the attainment of arahatu is usually internal Buddha. For later generations, usually they must practice hard. I had to explain about Venerable Mahasiva Thera. He was the learned teacher. He can recite 3 Pitakas together with commentaries, but he must practice for 30 years. What is the reason? Depending on their parami. When accumulating parami, their mind is related. Whether I should disrobe or not disrobe. Disrobing is good or not good. Then they have related mind. Disrobe is better. When old age comes, at that only I should ordain, etc. The reason is that Venerable Mahasiva, and then there are many Mahatiras famous in Sri Lanka. When our Bodhisattva Hati Bala renounced the war, 7 kingdom people and kings all renounced the war, but they are at that time drunkards. They don't want to follow up to Himalaya together with our Bodhisattva. So their group, they stay behind. They drink a lot. Later, there is no one, many people. So they became lazy. So they decide to follow after our Bodhisattva. So when accumulated wholesome kamma, they are very delay. Again, when Yogara Jadaga, when Yogara prince renounced the war, at that time, 7 kings and 7 kingdom people all renounced the war. At that time also they are drunkards. So they follow later only. While accumulating wholesome kamma, they are delayed. Because of this reason, when they become arhat, they are also very delayed. They must practice diligently. So it depends on their barami. For some meditators, one time may be enough, like Venerable Buddha. But such meditators are not, it is impossible. So because of this reason, they must repeat again and again. They must admonish to themselves again and again. Admonishment means this is anicca nupassana, dukkha nupassana, anatta nupassana. This is admonition to their mind to become attain vipassana insight, very high class vipassana insight.
While practicing vipassana, if a meditator feels that there is still a very subtle I who is practicing, what should he do?
Other than they should try to see paramattha. Nonad-kalāpas vini bhojedva kana vini bhogekade anatta lakkhana yathawa sara satta upattati. To see anatta, not adda. They must emphasize to see paramattha, ultimate materiality and mentality. By breaking down 3 types of competence for materiality and 4 types of competence for mentality. If they see paramattha nama and paramattha rūpa very, very clearly, and if they can contemplate anicca, dukkha, anatta, nature of those paramattha dhammas, and again emphasizing anatta nupassana, then this perception of I will disappear slowly. This is especially one type of mana conceit. To break down this mana conceit, they must emphasize anicca nupassana also. But in this case, when dukkha nupassana and anatta nupassana support to that anicca nupassana, other than only anicca nupassana can destroy the perception of I. So this is I, this is I, this is I, etc. Such type of perception is because of mana conceit. To suppress this mana, anicca nupassana is important. But when dukkha nupassana and anatta nupassana support, other than only anicca nupassana becomes powerful. Powerful anicca nupassana can destroy the perception of I.
Now the question on psychic power. Can Sayadaw please explain about the followings? Is it necessary to practice psychic power in order to attain Nibbana? Under what condition does Sayadaw teach psychic power? Is it suitable for all meditators? What are the important principles that a meditator needs to observe when practicing psychic power? What are the dangers that he needs to avoid? How does having psychic power help oneself and others?
Is it necessary to practice psychic power in order to attain Nibbana? This is not necessary practice. Maybe I had been explained partially here. In Susima Sutta, there are many arhats. They do not practice any jhana. They practice pure vipassana. Pure vipassana vehicles. They do not practice any jhana, but they can become arhat. What is their practice? Especially according to Visuddhimagga's instruction and according to Buddha's teaching. pure vipassana vehicles, they must first practice 4 elements meditation. If a meditator practices 4 elements meditation, he can attain up to excess concentration stage. Based on this concentration, if they practice vipassana, this is also possible. Depending on their barami, they can become arahats, like arahats in Susima Sutta. Then another one is some meditators like Vinariva Mahadesa. He practiced calendar meditation. He had already attained Pajana. He made this Pajana his vipassana basis jhana, and then practiced vipassana systematically. He also became arhat. There are also some arhat. They practice the jhana like Vinariva Subhuddhi. He emphasized, Vinariva Subhuddhi emphasized Metta jhana. Metta, loving kindness meditation, can produce to attain Pajana, second jhana, and third jhana only. But based on Metta jhana, he practiced vipassana systematically. He also became arhat. Some arahats, based on 4th jhana, they practice vipassana systematically. They can also become arhat. Some arahats, they practice 8 elements, 8 types of jhanas, ingasinas, etc. They can also become arhat. Some meditators, they practice all samathas. Based on 8 elements, they practice again psych power. After psych power, they practice vipassana systematically. They can also become arhat. So there are many possibilities for the attainment of arhat. But for those when practicing vipassana, if they cannot see clearly mentality and materiality, especially dependent origination, although they have jhana, vipassana basis jhana, such as anapana 4th jhana or vaikasina 4th jhana, but they cannot see clearly their past causes. Past causes produce present 5 effects, present causes will produce future 5 effects, etc. They do not see clearly. For those, even we teach, especially the regulation of past life, divine psych power, and divine eye psych power, Puvaniwasa, Nosri Upinyana, and Tipachaku Upinyana, it will be helpful, but they are very dangerous for some meditators, because using these psych powers, they want to become fortune tellers. This is very dangerous. Buddha never liked such persons. If they become fortune tellers, they will become popular in assembly, they think. So they want to do like, especially to collect money. Such type of idea is very low class idea. Very poor idea. This is very dangerous. Buddha always condemned parajika. Among 5 types of thieves, this is very, very wonderful, great thief. In this way, Buddha teaches Mahajora. This is not good. So, if they begin fortune tellers, you are my, in such and such, like you are my father, you are my son, you are my daughter, you are my husband, you are my wife. Is it good? Whether it is true or not, I don't know, but this is very dangerous for our sasana. So, if they had such idea to become fortune teller, for such meditators, it is better not to reach this psych power. Is it good? But if they want to become teacher, if they have such power, but they should not tell to the students, we have such and you have such power. It is better. Better means another one. Better one is if you can read their mind, whether that meditator's report is true or not true. At the time you can decide. If you can read their mind, it is helpful when teaching Dhamma. But you should not express your achievements. It is better. Okay.
And the next question. If a meditator shares about his psychic power and uses it for name, fame and gain, will this cause him to lose all his attainment?
Have you heard about Venerable Bhaddanta? So he had already added 8 attainments and possessed 5 mundane psychic power within one wasa. If banana gave a fruit, this is main cause to die for banana tree. Is it true? Because it produces fruit. After producing fruit, then banana will die one day. Is it true? In the same way, Buddha said in Vinaya, the psychic power, because of the attainment of psychic power, that psychic power kills Devadatta. After death, to go to hell. In this way, Buddha teaches. In the same way, bamboo tree. If bamboo tree gives fruit, this is also one cause to die bamboo. After fruit finish, that bamboo will die. In the same way, attainment of mundane psychic power is one fundamental cause for Devadatta to be reborn in hell. Because he used this psychic power, he shows his power to Ajatthamaka. He created his body as a snake. He appeared inside the breast of Ajatthamaka. And then he again create his normal body. So other than Ajatthamaka begin surprised a lot to see such wonderful power. Then he paid respect a lot to the Devadatta with a lot of offerings, etc. Because he want to persuade Ajatthamaka, because at the time Ajatthamaka will begin the gain of Magadha. He had already understood. So he want to persuade Ajatthamaka, and he want the supporting condition from Ajatthamaka. So he uses this power for pain, gain, and name. So because of this reason, this psychic power kills him to be after that to be reborn in hell. So for some meditators, if they become fortune tellers, so this is very dangerous for them. If their mind is not pure, their jhana and this psychic power also may disappear, because whenever Devadatta, he had one idea to become Buddha after killing our Lord Buddha. When such idea appear, his all jhanas disappear, all psychic power also disappear. He cannot re-establish his jhana concentration again. Because of this reason, if a meditator shares about his psychic power and uses it for name, pain, and gain, it will cause him to lose all his enemy. So please take care. Don't try to become fortune teller. You are not my partner. You are my husband. You are my wife. Is it good? Very dangerous.
Yeah, so regarding this question, we heard once they were staying in Sri Lanka, the Mahathira, one of the great monks, when he was preaching to the devotees, they don't believe in hell. He used his umbrella to show the hell. The kind of usage.
At that time he had already become arhat. He had no intention for pain, for name, pain and gain. Because he want to dispel of the delusion of others. But such power is called adhita-neti. That adhita-neti is Buddha also permit. Permit means mentally they do adhitana, strong determination. Let others also see hell, etc. Such type of adhitana is not fortune teller. You are not my husband. You are not my son. In this way, he is not dealing like that. To show the present situation, the listeners, they have doubt whether there is hell or not, whether there is Deva world or not. In this way, they have such doubt. To remove or to destroy such doubt, he do adhitana, to see the hells. So such type of adhitana is also Buddha permit. In the same way, in the name of Buddha Venerable Mahamoggallana, he visited to the Deva world and came back to human world. He teach Dhamma such and such Deva in such and such splendid mansion, became Deva because of such and such wholesome kamma, etc. He explained their experience. Again he visited to hell and then such and such persons because of such and such wholesome kamma, they reborn in hell and such hell, etc. This is also not for pain and gain. This is also his intention is to not to do unwholesome things, not to accumulate unwholesome dhammas, to accumulate wholesome dhammas only. This is his pure intention. He had no idea for gain and pain. But if a meditator has pure mind, it is okay, but mind is very quick. So if they become arhat, we have 100% faith in him. His mind is pure. But a meditator now he or she is not yet arhat. So it is very difficult, or such and such meditation teacher has such and such pure mind. So it is not easy to say. Is it true? Yes. But that way is we should not do against with Buddha's wish. If Buddha prohibits, then we should not do. It is better.
For the 5th to 8th attainment, the objects are the same for different kasina. How can a meditator confirm its object? Does he need to check and differentiate while practicing these 14 ways?
Such meditators, if they had already practiced jhana anuloma and jhana pariloma, kasina anuloma and kasina pariloma, they had already understood their experience. For example, jhana anuloma, taking Pathavi kasina, for example, and kasina as object. They practice systematically from 5th jhana to 8th jhana. Repeatedly again and again. After that, they also again, this is forward order, but anuloma. Again, they also practice jhana padiloma, backward order, from 8th jhana to 1st jhana. While practicing this repeatedly again, they had already experienced. Based on Auk Acinna, how they had been practiced, the base of boundless conscious jhana, this is number 6 jhana. The base of nothingness jhana, this is number 7 jhana. The base of neither perception nor non-perception jhana, this is number 8 jhana. So they had already experienced. According to because of this previous experience, when practicing 40 ways, they also understood which is which, etc. Because they had already practiced systematically. This is one reason. If they have any doubt about how to check and differentiate, when practicing these jhanas, the main important thing is basic jhana. Basic jhana means first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana object. If they review again this object, they will see this number 6, number 7, number 8 jhanas are based on such and such kasina. At that time they can differentiate. But actually in this case, many meditators, they had been practiced one jhana, anuloma, forward order, and padiloma, backward order again and again. They can differentiate to each jhana. So at that time only they can say, oh, this is which kasina, this is which kasina, based on which kasina I had been practiced, such elements, etc.
Referring to method 5, jhana patiloma, in the reverse order of jhanas, in the reverse order, for example, earth kasina, from 4th to 1 attainment, or to the first attainment, a meditator can clearly know his patibhaga nimitta. From 8th to 6th attainment, how can a meditator confirm the object is for earth kasina? Can he just proceed by feeling?
Usually in this case, we teach first they should practice forward order. Taking Pathavi kasina, for example, as object. They repeatedly should practice from 1st jhana to 8 again and again. If they had been practiced this forward order again and again, if they became expert, they had already noticed. Again, they must practice from 8 to backward, 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 6 to 5th, 5th to 4th jhana, 3rd jhana, 2nd jhana, and 1st jhana. If they do in this way, they had already understood. They can practice from 1st to 8. Again, 8 to 1st is very easy because they had been experienced. According to previous experience, they can differentiate. This 8 is such a, based on such and such kasina. This 8 is, this 7 is based on such and such kasina, etc. But it depends on their own practice only. At that time only they can easily understood. But their practice is not accurate. At that time also they may do not differentiate. This is which based on which kasina. This is which on based on which and which kasina. They cannot differentiate. But if their practice is accurate, they can differentiate. If they cannot differentiate, in this case we teach forward order path. If they repeatedly practice forward order, if they can see clearly the objects, at that time only they should go back to backward order. But this jhana's object is different from the basic kasina. The basic kasina is clear for those who had practiced up to 4th jhana only. But in those jhanas, their object is maybe only their force one are concept, force one are pramata. For example, the object of number 8 jhana, the base of neither perception nor non-perception is the pramata. Number 7th jhana. In the same way, number 6 jhana's object is number 5 jhana. So they are paramatas. So these paramata in each kasina, they are no much different. Because they are saying paramata. But this paramata arises depending on such and such jhana. This paramata arises depending on such and such jhana. This is base jhana they can understand. Because they had been practiced for jhana, second jhana, third jhana, taking that jhana and fourth jhana, taking this kasina as object. Because of this practice, they may understand. If they are not clear, usually we teach to go back from first jhana to fourth jhana again.
When practicing these 14 ways quickly, if the kasina become not clear or the color become mixed together, what should the meditator do?
Usually such meditators we teach to practice slowly again. Maybe one jhana, once a day, etc. For example, one kasina once a day, etc. For example, at kasina. Only at kasina taken as meditation object, they should practice 8 minutes, at least once a day. If they see clearly this 8 minutes within once a day, at that day only another sitting, they should practice water kasina, etc. In this way, we suggest them. However, some meditators, while practicing this 14 ways, their idea is a little bit difficult. If I understood this difficult idea is they want to become Pojudala, they want to become pain and gain. So if I think they want to become Pojudala and they want pain and gain, other than usually I do not teach such meditators. It is better. But in this case, honest is very important. Within relation between teacher and student, if students are not honest, very dangerous teaching. So because of this reason, if they had already practiced vipassana, if they had already begun sotapanna, etc., such type of noble ones, if we teach, they may be good. Because they will not tell lies. But not artificial sotapanna. Today, let us stop here and sharing merit. Idame bunya aswakya wahahodu idame bunya nibbanasa pachiyo hodu idame bunya sabhasadanam pajima Tesabe Mesamam Bunya Bhaga Labandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu